Ew, tapping in real quick for this UFC fight night that's fit to take place Saturday evening. We're back in the Apex for this one with 11 fights to talk about, and that main event is a bang out in the flyweight division. For what it's worth, I do appreciate y'all for tapping in. This video right here, this is the full card breakdown of predictions. I do my absolute best is not to hold y'all ear hostage for too long, but you already know how that goes. Now, I'm not necessarily sure what that lineup's going to look like come fight night, but this is the one that I have in front of me this afternoon, so this is very much so the one we're going to rock with. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and dive into it, man. As of right now, that first fight of the night, that is women's MMA. That is a complete stay away for me. I want absolutely nothing to do with this fight, not in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Not betting, not parlaying. I don't even want to offer a pick, man. Fuck this fight, but it is what it is. We have Rodriguez, currently 10-2, opened up at minus 195, 32 years old, 5'3", with a 63.5-inch reach. She's taking on Souza, however you say Ketlin's last name, if that's even how you say her first name. With all due respect, currently 15-5, opened to plus 145, 29 years old, also 5'3", with a 63-inch reach, man. Oh, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is when it comes to this one. Pick your own poison. In my personal opinion, I've picked mine. I've decided to go ahead and side with Ketlin Souza in this one. Yeah, I'm talking about, if we include Dana White Contender Series for Rodriguez, she's currently 4-2, with her only 2 losses coming to Carnelossi. That was a disqualification, and Jillian Roberson. Her wins, though, Sam Hughes, Kay Henson. I guess Josephine Knudsen was assumed to be a good win at the time, to be determined as far as I'm concerned. I mean, really nothing to call home about when it comes to the Rodriguez side of things. Ketlin Souza, she dropped her debut to Karine Silva. Marnik Man is a victory. Yasmin's another victory. Really nothing to call home about. She dropped a loss via split decision to Angela Hill. That Angela Hill fight, in my personal opinion, the split decision loss to Angela Hill, who I am very high on, you know. I rate that higher than any loss on the other side for Rodriguez, man. It is what it is. Highly competitive, closely contested, man. Somebody's just going to be, able to edge this one out. Both with a 63-inch reach. Both of them 5'3". One puts out about 3.5, lands about 3.5 per strikes on average. 3 strikes on average per minute at a 48% striking accuracy, and that's Rodriguez. Souza lands about 4.9, almost 5 per minute with a 59% striking accuracy. 57% striking defense for Rodriguez, 51 for Souza. 51% takedown accuracy for Rodriguez, 25 for Souza. 66 on the defense for Rodriguez, 64 for Souza. Pick your own poison, man. It's a pick your own poison type of situation, in my personal opinion. It's a fight I want absolutely nothing to do with. I chose to go ahead and rock with the dog to kick off the card. The slight dog at plus 145, which is Ketlin Souza, to be the one to get this one done via split decision. If it goes the full 15 minutes, if we see a finish, I do expect it to come from the Ketlin Souza side of things. Rodriguez's 2 losses. She has been submitted once. Souza has 2 submission victories as well as 2 submission losses, 8 knockout wins as well as 2 knockout losses, and 5 decision wins as well as 1 decision loss, man. Pick your own poison. I've already spent enough time on this fight. Ketlin Souza's the pick. Moving on, man. We have Philippe Boons versus Hafel. And, Philippe opened up a plus 350, 35 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach. Hafel opened to minus 500, 28 years old, 5'8" with a 69-inch reach. Hafel possesses a 7-year youth advantage 1-inch height advantage, and they both have the same exact reach. I do expect Rafael to, advance from 13-0 to 14-0 in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Philippe Boons has lost via KO, TKO, lost via submission, and lost via decision. He's also claimed victory in every one of those categories, man. So it is a fight, and nothing's outside the realm of possibilities. But I rock with Philippe Boons. On the same night, we hit dog after dog after dog on 3 fights with Philippe Boons and Punahele Soriano and the other boy, just back-to-back-to-back dogs. But I do not expect Philippe Boons to bark, and I want to say, somewhat expect Rafael to go out here and justify his price tag. I'm not in love with it at minus 500, but I caught him at minus 420, and again at minus 480. I don't like fucking with the minus 500 or over the minus 500 money line in my parlays. You understand what I'm saying to you? But I did catch him, and I did parlay him up. So he is one of my legs, man. Moving on, Adolfo Vieira versus Tresean Gore. And this, in my personal opinion, is another one of those situations where it's pick your own fucking poison, man. Pick your own poison. Does Vieira have does the black belt hunter have the better resume? Wins, losses, all of it. Just, yes, he does, as far as, name value and all of that is concerned. And, got Armin Petrosian out of there with the choke and Cody Brundage out of there with choke. Chris Curtis, though, another stocky, muscle-head motherfucker with good takedown defense. He lost that via decision. Andre Petrowski, another muscle-head motherfucker with good takedown defense, also dangerous in the jiu-jitsu department. He lost that one via decision, man. And it is what it is, man. Tresean Gore is not that guy in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I don't expect him to be in the UFC too much longer, but he's here. And it is what it is. Their opponent in common in Cody Brundage. He got Tresean out of there. While on the other side, I think old boy got Cody out of there. You know what I'm saying? So one thing has nothing to do with the other. It is all worth consideration. This isn't a fight that I want anything to do with. You know what I'm talking about? But the pick is Tresean Gore, another dog. So we 3 fights in. We kicked it off with a female fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with. And we took the dog in Ketlin Souza. Highly confident. One of my legs in my main parlay for Rafael over Philippe. Now we on to another dog, another fight that I want absolutely nothing to do with, but I'm rocking with Tresean Gore to be the one to get this one done. Maybe via split decision. I think it can be done via unanimous decision. I think Vieira's going to struggle with getting him down to the ground too. He can match him in the, with the muscle and the strength. If he was to get him down to the ground, maybe he'd be in trouble, but I don't think that he's going to be able to get him down to the ground. I think Tresean Gore is going to, promote some problems for Vieira. So I'm rocking with that dog for what it's worth. Moving on, man. We have Nakamura versus the boy Fletcher. And I said that, right? My bad, man. Vieira, he opened up a minus 220, 35 years old, 6 feet tall with a 73-inch reach. And Tresean, 31 years old, opened up a plus 180, 6 feet tall with a 75-inch reach. So Tresean, for what it's worth, 35 to 31, he has a 4-year youth advantage. They're the same exact height, and Tresean also possesses a 2-inch height advantage. So it is what it is, man. We rocking with the dog. Renya opened up as a minus 430, 30 years old, 5'7" with a 68.5-inch reach. He's taking on Nathan. Opened up plus 325, 27 years old, 5'7" with a 70-inch reach, man. Not a fight that I have a high level of interest in, man. If I'm being honest with you, man, Nakamura is the pick to hopefully. I do not think he'll be able to justify the price tag in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I do think Nathan Fletcher will keep this fight quite a bit closer than what that money line suggests, but I do still believe, Renya's gonna improve to 10-1 and send Nathan Fletcher out of there, 9-3. I could be wrong, but for his, the sake of a pick, I'm rocking with Renya Nakamura to get this one done via, unanimous decision. Maybe split, maybe majority, but I'm rocking with him to get the nod in whatever, in whatever unfucking folds on Saturday. You know what I mean? I don't want anything to do with this fucking fight, man. Renya's the pick. Fuck the price tag. Moving on. We have a dog fight. Blue collar, Nick Klein, even money, minus 115, 29 years old, 6'1" with a 77-inch reach. He's taking on the boy Puliev, or however you say his name, no nickname. Fake, even, minus 115 for him as well. 27 years old, 6'4" with a 78.5-inch reach. So, for what it's worth, 29 to 27, just about a 2 years youth advantage. When we talk about the, matter of fact, 29 and 10 months, 26, it is a 2-year youth advantage, right on the money. 3-inch height advantage and motherfucking 1.5-inch reach advantage for Puliev. Pick your own fucking poison, man. Pick your own poison, man. I don't want anything to do with this motherfucking fight either, man. Fuck this fight as well. There's really, honestly, only 3 fights that I'm confident in and 3 fights that I like. But those 3 legs come together to around 3, I think it's like plus 360 something. You know what I'm talking about? So you're still getting a good price tag on them 3 legs. We'll get to the second and third leg here in a minute. I'm trying to get through this motherfucker as quick as possible because I don't have a high level of interest in this motherfucking card, man. You know what I mean? For the most part, man. Puliev is the pick. I picked my poison. It is what it is, man. Hopefully, he finds a way to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Klein has 2 knockout losses and 2 knockout wins with 3 submission wins and 1 decision win. Puliev, on the other side of things, 5 knockout wins, 1 knockout loss, 2 submission wins, 2 decision wins, 2 decision losses, man. It is what it is. Pick your fucking poison. I'll pick mine. I'm rocking with Puliev. Even pick him. Now, this is where shit gets a bit spicy and a little bit controversial for motherfuckers on the other side of things. I'm rocking with yet another big dog this week, but we are in the doghouse over here at Fresh Start Mixed Martial Arts. So I don't know what you expect, man. I expect motherfuckers to bark. You know what I'm talking about? Up next, Danny Silva, 10-1. El Puma opened up a plus 345, 28 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. He is taking on Kevin. El Chino opened up a minus 470, 23 years old, 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. El Puma, the big dog of the week for me, taking on El Chino. El Chino has a 5-year youth advantage, 23 to 28. El Puma has a 4-inch height advantage, 5'11" to 5'7". El Puma also has a 2-inch reach advantage, 70 inches to 68 inches. 10-1 for El Puma, 15-1 for El Chino. And I'm not going to say I get it. I'm not going to say I necessarily understand it. I guess maybe because, the 2-fight win streak. Is it a 2-fight? Nah, it's 1, 2. We'll see on a little 3, 4-fight win streak now since the loss to Gene Silva. All right, so the 4-fight win streak has been 4 finishes. You know what I'm talking about? For El Chino. Kevin, where on the other side of things, you know what I mean, with Danny Silva, I believe his last few victories have all been decisions and some of them split decisions. So one has been a decisionator for his last few fights, while the other one has been finishing individuals inside the distance. And I'm guessing that's what, outside the fact that the one loss from the 15-1 side of Kevin comes to Gene Silva via decision on the Dana White Contender Series, I guess we're, rightfully so, rating that as a better loss than the loss that's on the 10-1 side of Danny Silva. But is that really what justifies this price tag? The fact that, old boy came off the Contender Series via unanimous decision, that he fought Josh Coulibaly to a split decision, then he fought Lucas Almeida to a split decision. So now his 10-1 doesn't look as appealing as Kevin Vahalos, who dropped his Dana White Contender Series showing the first time, I'm talking about, to Gene Silva via decision. But then he rear naked choked the Joker, overhand righted the Joker, punched another Joker out, and over-righted handed into a ground and pound on Sung Woo Choi. His second Dana White Contender Series showing, He got the punching on the Joker and got him out of there in round 1. Then he got Sung Woo Choi, you know what I'm talking about, and he went ahead and got him up out of there. So I guess because he's finishing Jokers inside the distance with relative quickness, and Danny Silva is taking individuals to a decision, we just gonna go ahead and write Danny off. Like, I guess that's what we doing. We writing Danny off. My fault, I lost one of my pages. So we gonna make this boy a plus 345 underdog to the minus motherfucking almost 500, 470 favorite opening. And I mean, let's talk about it real quick, because they both have 3 fights inside the UFC, right? You know what I'm talking about? Obviously, this is one of the fights I'm more interested in, man. I want to see if this young boy can, you know, justify this price tag, man. 5'11" for Danny, 5'7" for Kevin. 70 inches in the reach for Danny, 68 inches in the reach for Kevin. Both of them switch stance. You know what I'm talking about? 28 years old for Danny, 23 years old for Kevin. On average, strikes landed per minute for Danny, 7.36 at a 59% striking accuracy. On average, strikes landed per minute for Kevin, 6.48 with a 51% striking accuracy. You know, strikes absorbed, 7.96 at a 61% striking defense. Absorbed 5.70 at a 57% striking defense. Takedowns, 2.33 takedowns on average over the course of 15 minutes at a 46% strike takedown accuracy for Danny. Kevin ain't attempted no takedowns yet, so 0.00 with a 0%, but a 66% takedown defense. So what we have over the course of 3 fights, because we have those 3 bodies of work to, you know, go off of as far as these statistics are concerned, what we have is 2 individuals that put out a very high volume, the big dog landing ever so slightly more with ever so slightly a better striking accuracy. 7.36 at 59% to 6.48 at 51%. Ever so slightly. So they gonna be neck and neck with the fucking volume. And as far as touching each other, you know, they gonna be quite successful for that. With that as well, if we go off these statistics, man. A 61% striking defense for Danny, a 57% striking defense for the big favorite in Kevin, man. Highly competitive and closely contested on the feet. Kevin doesn't or hasn't as of yet attempted any takedowns, so it's a 0% takedown accuracy with a 66% takedown defense, respectable. On the other side, there's a 100% takedown defense for Danny with only a 46% takedown accuracy, but he normally secures about 2.33 takedowns over the course of 15 minutes, so he'll lock up and secure about 2 takedowns over the course of 15 minutes if that's the game plan that he's attempting to implement. You understand what I'm saying to you? So what we have here is a 28-year-old that's 10-1, a 23-year-old that's 15-1. Both of them are on win streaks. One's just been finishing Jokers while the other one's been, you know, decisioning Jokers. This will lead you to believe it's going to be highly competitive and closely contested on the feet, with one mixing up the wrestling and grappling, attempting to edge it out. You understand what I'm saying to you? You take this into consideration, what's on paper, then you go look at the body of work that both of these individuals have produced in their victories. You understand what I'm saying to you? Maybe it's a bit harder to find, you know, longer fights with Kevin, you know what I mean? But you go find him and you see what he's able to do. Go watch the fight with Gene Silva. See how he deals with, you know, resistance from his opposition. You understand what I'm saying to you? Look at how Danny fights, because styles make matchups. You understand what I'm saying to you? I personally believe that Danny Silva may be a bad stylistic matchup for Kevin Vahalos. But that's just me. You know what I mean? That's just me, and who the fuck am I? You know what I'm saying? But that's why I took so long on that one, man. Let me snatch this page back. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Come on, come on, come on. Where we at? Where we at? Bang. So that's it, man. Danny, plus 345. Big dog of the week. You know what I mean? And maybe it's a split decision. Maybe he finds a way to use his, you know, Kevin's forward motion and aggression against him, especially if he gets up ahead of him on the cards in round 1 or round 2, and God forbid Kevin needs a finish. Maybe he ends up getting finished in his own right, man. But I'm going to go ahead and rock with Danny Silva and roll the dice on a dog, man. You know what I mean? At plus 345, that's a single play. Just like Muslim last week, I caught him at 350, caught him again at 400. You know what I'm talking about? And Budai, I had it plus 230, and then I parlayed the two of them together for plus 13 something. I was good just off of the dogs. You know what I mean? You don't have to be greedy. I tried to make a bigger parlay, and Damon Blackshear shitted on all those. You know what I'm saying? But El Puma over El Chino, that's my big dog of the week. Moving on, we have back-to-back dogs for me. Neil Magny, the Haitian sensation, plus 180, 37 years old, 6'3", with an 80-inch reach, taking on Zaleski, minus 215, 38 years old, 5'11", with a 73-inch reach. Yes, Neil Magny does have a year youth advantage in this fight. You understand what I'm saying to you? We have two OGs. We have two UFC veterans. One I just believe to be a bit more crafty than the other, and I cannot state enough that I also believe Neil Magny to be one of the most efficient individuals when it comes to using that 80-inch reach. Very much so into his advantage. Whether it's putting paws on you or getting them, you know, stringing a combination together to get them on you, to pull you into the clinch, to get you up against the cage and try to drag you out, man. I like Neil Magny a lot in this spot. You know what I'm talking about? And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Pick your own poison. This is two UFC OG veterans, man. Both know how to get it done inside that octagon. One I believe to be just a bit craftier and a bit, you know, more sound, a bit more well-rounded. Zaleski is definitely the more dangerous individual, but Neil Magny's, he has the better game plan, and he will operate by it, and he will, you know, successfully, you know, secure this victory, in my personal opinion, man. But that plus 180 is what makes my 3 legs come to plus 3 and some change, because Neil Magny is my second leg in my 3-leg parlay, man. I'm all over him in this spot, man. He very much so knows how to use his physical attributes to his advantage. Those long limbs, if it comes to getting in close and snatching up chokes or being in the motherfucking clinch and dragging you the fuck down, you know, he'll wrap you all the fuck up. He can keep you at fucking bay with the teep kicks and the jabs. If he comes out there and operates by a game plan, which I very much so expect him to do on Saturday, he's securing his victory. I'm not going to say with relative ease. You know, I do expect a unanimous decision. Maybe he finds a way to get a finish, because Zaleski's going to be coming for the finish, because he's going to be behind on the cards, in my personal opinion. I just like, I like Neil Magny a lot in this position, man. So I'm rocking with another dog, man. Moving on, another women's MMA bout that I want absolutely nothing to do with, man. Nothing to do with. Carol opened up with minus 170, 30 years old, 5'5", with a 67.5-inch reach. She's taking on Nora. Opened up plus 140, 35 years old, 5'7", with a 67-inch reach, 35-30. Carol has a 5-year youth advantage. Nora has a 2-inch height advantage, and for what it's worth, there's a 1/2-inch reach advantage on Carol's side. It is what it is, man. I don't want anything to do with this fight. I'm going to go ahead and take Carol to be the one to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Moving on, the third leg to my parlay, my 3-leg parlay at plus 3 and some change is, you know, El Gringo, Esteban. He's taking on Elves Brenner. And I get it, you know. Elves Brenner is durable, you know what I mean? But I told you, durability has an expiration date. You can't go in there and win fights. Lose fights until you're not, you know what I'm talking about, because you find that lucky shot. Told motherfuckers what Joe Alvarez was going to do to him. We cashed as a dog with Joe Alvarez in that fight, man. I'm not high on Elvis Brenner in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I think Esteban, El Gringo, is going to come out here and box him up. Esteban opened up a minus 285, 29 years old, 5'10", with a 69-inch reach. Elves, plus 230, 27 years old, 5'10", with a 72-inch reach. 2-year youth advantage for Elves. Both of them are 5'10", 3-inch reach advantage for Elves. Do not believe he's going to be able to use that to his advantage. I think Esteban's is going to box him the fuck up. and possibly find a way to hit that button and get him up out of there, man. Because that durability has reached its expiration date, in my personal opinion. That's my 3-leg parlay, man. You know what I'm talking about? I got the boy Hafel, I got Neil Magny, and I got Esteban, and I'm alright with that shit, man. It is what it is, man. To each their own. You know what I'm talking about? Moving on. Chris Duncan versus Matus Rebecki. The Problem versus Rabisti. Is that it? Is Rabisti? Is that what I'm reading, man? The Problem. We just gonna go with their names. Fuck that. Chris and Matus, man. Chris opened up a plus 175, 32 years old, 5'10" with a 71.5-inch reach. Matus minus 210, 32 years old, 5'7" with a 66-inch reach. Got myself. Let's talk about it real quick, man, because I'm on another dog, a slight dog at plus 175. I'm rocking with the Chris Duncan side of things, you know. He gets that good work in over there with a good squad. You know what I mean? An American top team. He surrounds himself with good folks. I'm not saying anything about Matus, you know, but Chris is another one that will use that 5.5-inch reach advantage, very much so to his advantage, as well as the 3-inch height advantage. He's also no chump anywhere this fight may take place. You understand what I'm saying to you? I like the Problem to beat the Rabisti. Give me Chris Duncan as a slight dog over Matus via unanimous decision, and possibly via finding the submission on Matus if he acts like, you know, he wants to get to wrestling. Matus has been knocked out in both of his losses, and, you know, Chris can knock you out too. Chris can knock you out too. 7 knockout wins, 3 submission wins. For some reason, I see another submission win coming in if Matus wants to wrestle. But I'm not saying Duncan can't catch him, clip him, and disconnect him from his consciousness. He most definitely can. But I am rocking with the dog in this one. And let's talk about this main event, man. Let's talk about this main event. Damn, I just clicked off of there real quick. Let me see if they even put a money line on those motherfuckers, man. Let me see if they even put a money line on these motherfuckers, man. Yeah, there's no money line available for that main event yet. You know what I'm talking about? So let's go ahead and slide back out of there and slide back over here. For me, this one was easy, and it's still, you know, my pick remains the same. It's Tatsuro, however you say old boy's name. The boy Park. Both of them are 5'7". Tat has a 70-inch reach. Park has a 66-inch reach. And Tat has a 5-year youth advantage. You know what I'm talking about? Over Park. Tat lands about 3 strikes on average per minute with a 60% striking accuracy. Park 4.5 at a 46% striking accuracy. He possesses 60% striking defense, though. The Tat's 46% striking defense. Takedowns on average over the course of motherfucking 15 minutes. 2.73 for Tat, 1.90 for Park, and a 44% accuracy for Tat, and a 33 for Park. 44% takedown defense for Tat, and a 100% takedown defense for Park. But I'm not gonna say in my personal opinion because it's a fact. The stats on the Tat side of things way more legitimate, man. Because this road to the UFC. You can miss me with that shit. And then this individual you fought in your UFC debut with somebody else from the road to the UFC, you can miss me with that shit. Shannon Ross, you can miss me with that shit. Carlos Hernandez, I mean, you can miss me with that shit, but it's sad to say that's the highest level and most legitimate level of opposition that he's had to face. On the Tat side of things, man, the shit's just been a little bit different, man. He fought the one boy, Carlos, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Then he took on C.J. Vergara, Jesus, Edgar Chavez, Carlos Hernandez as well, but he finished him by knocking him out. Then Alex Perez to drop one to Brandon Royval. The level of opposition, incomparable. Undeniably incomparable. The shit is just different, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not gonna say he's sacrificial, but I think Tat's gonna get the finish. You know what I'm talking about? I think he's gonna find a way to get the finish in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Give me Tat inside the distance via KO, TKO, or via submission. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is. The boy Park, the kid's gonna lose. Just like Tat lost. You understand what I'm saying too? He's not going all the way to the top and getting the belt, remaining undefeated and all that. Let's grip reality. He's gonna lose. And he's gonna lose on Saturday to Tat. He's leaving 10-1. Tat's leaving 17-1. That's that with that, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm talking about? But it is what it is. And again, it's all just my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? So run with it, run from it, do what the fuck you want to do with it. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to go back down in the lab with the background and all that and do the quick picks and shit a little bit later on. And my most confident picks, a little bit of parlay talk for the prelims and the main card for what it's worth. Let you know where I'm at with my shit, you know what I'm talking about? And, you know, I ain't even going to hold you. Probably start talking about the card after this one in the next day or two because I just do not have a high level of interest in this card, man. So we kicked it off with a dog in Ketlin Souza. For what it's worth, it's a fight I want absolutely nothing to do with, but the dog is the pick. That is one dog. High fell, first leg to the parlay. Crazy favorite, not in love with the price tag, but I do expect him to justify it. Next, we took Trayshawn Gore to get this one done via split decision. Maybe it's a majority draw. Who the fuck knows? But we rocked with the dog, so that's the second dog. We took Renya, not in love with a price tag. Another fight I want absolutely nothing to do with. And we took Puliev. It's an even pick'em right here. Don't want shit to do with that fight either. Big dog of the week is Danny Silva over Kevin to get it done via split decision. Yet again, you know what I'm talking about? Then we're taking another dog back to back. Give me the Haitian sensation, Neil Magny over Zaleski to find a way to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion, man. You know what I'm talking about? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 dogs and a big dog so far. Then we took Carol over Nora, another fight I want absolutely nothing to do with. Neil Magny is my second leg to my parlay too, my bad. Then we took Esteban, my third leg to my parlay. Hafel, Neil, and Esteban at +3 and some change, but that's just me. You know what I'm talking about? And another dog and Chris Duncan over Matus to find a way to get this one done in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And no matter what the line is, Tat's the pick, man. You know what I mean? I do expect it to open up something ridiculous because I do expect him to find the finish over, you know, old boy. But it is what it is, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. That's been a full card breakdown of predictions. And, you know, stay tapped in. Peace and blessings.